I thought this was supposed to be about stocks. Where?
It's not about stocks. It's about balls. Where did they go? How do you get balls? Once you lose your balls, huh? Huh? Once you lose your balls, how do you get the balls back? Is there a place where I could rent a set of balls, maybe to know what it feels like again? Even my son knows I've got no balls now at this point. I don't even know how I had any children. I've got no balls. I don't know if I've ever seen it shown in the book that I have. I started writing a book a while back called Infinitesimally Small Balls, One Trader's Story of How He Lost His Nuts. It's not about trading anymore. It's about finding a stock that's gone down for 3 days, having the balls to get involved and watch it go back up for 3 days. Nothing's going down. If you find a trend that seems to be working, there shouldn't even be a question of whether or not you do the trade. But yet, it always comes down to balls. There's always that voice in your head.
Well, what if I lose money? What if I lose money? What if I lose money on this one? What if I lose money on this one?
You could have something that works 99 times out of 100.
Well, what if I'm the 100th guy? What if I'm the 100th guy? I'm going to be the 100th guy. What if I'm the 100th? The time that I do it, it's not going to work. The time that I do it, it's not going to work.
It can't happen every time, right?
Oh, yes, you could. I've seen somebody go black every time, and it keeps coming up red. And then he finally goes red, and there's the green.
Obviously, yeah. But you got to have balls in this market. Let's talk about balls. So a guy in my room just made $100,000. A guy in my room just made $100 grand. We were talking about how GMCR, the last few quarters, there's been a knee-jerk reaction down and then the stock spiked. So I said, take a look this time for a knee-jerk reaction up and then some profit taking to ensue. Bang! He gets short 5,000 shares between 53 and 52 and started covering at about 45 right about here. Then, with Akamai, I was talking about how I've been involved in the stock since the IPO. I know how this stock trades. And the last couple of quarters, they've had a decent enough number where they've gapped the stock up. I said, there is no chance in hell that that's going to happen again. Because usually it alternates one-on-one. But this time, they've had a series of decent moves. So it's about time for Akamai to give it all back like it normally does. Because Akamai, like Broadcom, like a lot of these stocks that we watch, just aren't going anywhere anymore. No matter how great Broadcom is doing, the stock's just not going anywhere. Ever. Akamai, same kind of thing. Gets going? No. Stocks like US Steel. You could play these ranges because it's just not going anywhere. Now, I want to thank you, Mr. Thousandth Guy. Mr. Thousandth Guy out there who's asked me, why the hell do you do what you do? If I make these videos about how this guy's doing this and that guy's doing that, all my calls are good, why don't you just shut up and trade for yourself and don't tell anybody what you're doing? Thank you, Mr. 1000th Guy, because you've actually opened my eyes. You're right. There isn't any reason. There is one. There is one reason that I do it. If I'm only trading 200-300 shares, and right now, my other name, and you know me by many names, is No Balls McGee. No Balls McGee. Mo Balls McGee knows how to make money in the market, but he's so set in his ways of trading with no balls and no risk that he cannot take on more risk because that one trade will screw up 20 good trades. For instance, if I was shorting GMCR for 200 shares and making 3 points on it, I can't now go ahead and start trading 3,000 shares of the next idea because if it doesn't work, it'll just wipe out the beautiful trade we had in GMCR.
You could also call him Joe No Balls.
Joe No Balls. So I am stuck now trading no balls, small lots, and just trying to make a living. So if everybody was to come into the room, and let's say I had 100 people in there, paying whatever they're paying, whatever deal you set up with me, and everybody's making money because of me and because of the room, then I'm actually making money in this industry. Trading on my own, I cannot step it up anymore. The days of hundreds and hundreds of contracts are over. The days of thousands of shares on one idea are done because I lose money when I do it. Whether it be because the balls shrivel into nothing and I get panicked and I don't see the move correctly, or is it that I'm just the unluckiest fuck that every time I go near a stock with a large position, it immediately goes wrong. Whatever the case, if I have 100 people in a room, all listening to what I say, making money off their calls, giving me a little piece of the action, and we're talking about a smidgen. We're talking about $2, $3 a day. Right now, we've been signing up people for $420, the $420 special. You get my room all the way till the end of July. So hurry up because we're closing that deal out soon. And soon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the room down completely. And if you're not in the room by July, you're going to have to pay a $1,000 entry fee just to get in, like a PSL. Because you're right, Mr. Thousandth Guy, to ask me why I do this. You are so right. I should just be hunkering down, increasing my size a little bit, and ignoring everybody. But this guy's got another problem. I enjoy helping other people. I do. Whether or not you believe that or not, and if you think my life is changing, let's assume I get 100 people tonight to give me $420 each. What's that? I've lost that amount of money on one trade in my life. But what it is a justification for me to doing this, to keep the lights on, so to speak. Because No Balls McGee, if I can't help myself, I could help you.
Oh, this guy is so emotional. How could I ever trust this guy? I don't even know his real name.
But he does make some good solid picks.
Yeah, I guess I've got to give it up to the guy. He did tell me to buy GMCR on that gap down at $18 that day. He did tell you, he did say it would probably go to around $45 in 6 months. He did say that. You know what else he said? He did say to buy FSLR at that 17. When he said if it broke 18, you'd probably get it to 25, and then you'd probably get it to around 30. Yeah, I did buy those March $30 calls at $1 and change, and I did sell them at 5. I guess he does know something. He did tell me to short that Ameren at $12.50, that it would probably go back to $8 because it's just a bullshit fish oil company with no hope of getting taken over. Yeah, you know, maybe this guy is onto something. He did tell me to get back into that Facebook at 21 when I thought he was nuts, and it did go back to 30 just like he said. I pay for his room. I guess actually, if you think about it, maybe I should be paying for his room. Maybe. I don't know. He did tell me to buy AIG. He did. He did. You know what else he told me? He said, considering AIG is owned by the government, there's no chance I could lose money. And I didn't really like the fact that he said there's no chance of me losing money, because I guess there's always a chance. But at $28, he said look for it to get to 33, and if it breaks 35, the next stop should be 40. And it's almost at 40. Look at that. Maybe I should join.
Fuck that. I need 100 good picks in a row. 1,000! What? So, maybe you just don't like bald people. Is it baldism? Is shiny? Is there too much shit back there? What happened, people? What happened? Where did it all go wrong for you, for me, for everybody? Where did it go wrong? So I invite you right now. I invite you to come. And I'm going to put this video on the old channel.
I thought you weren't putting videos up there. You told me to move and go to...
I'm sorry. there's still people that haven't made the transition from the Thanos 43 channel. By the way, that's my real name. My real name is Thanos. I don't know if you know that or not.
No, it's not. Just kidding. Nobody knows my real name.
But I needed everybody to make the transition. So every once in a while, I got to put videos up on both channels. Don't be confused. They're the same video. Don't be looking for, like, mix masters or whatever.
Ugh. See, this is where he loses me. I love this guy, but I don't know whether or not he's coming or going sometimes. But I'll tell you something.
Where are you? If you're out there right now, who you want to listen to? Maniac guy sitting at home? Or suit-wearing guy who's doing the same thing every day? You can't trust the suit-wearing guys. You can't trust the analysts, the brokers. Who are you going to trust? Trust this guy. I've been grinding this shit out for 20 years now. So what's your proof? What's your name? Who are you? Fuck you! That's my name! I made $970,000 last year. How much you make? Because you drove a Hyundai here and I drove a $97,000 BMW. That's my name. You're so smart. It's a movie quote. I didn't make any of that money. I sit in my hovel and I grind it out. Listen, if you're still out there watching this video, thank you for sitting through for 12 minutes. If you're sitting there deciding whether or not you want to be a trader, so you want to be a trader, the way you're going to learn is by sitting and listening to what I'm saying all day. Why were we shorting Akamai? Why were we shorting GMCR? Why were we buying Priceline? Why are we doing anything? We're talking about it. It's not always about the green and red lines. It's about what's happened in the past. It's about percentages. But most of all, what's it about, son? What's it about? What's it about? What's it about? Valuable lesson.
Oh, see, he's teaching his kid about balls? What kind of man is this? I don't know. I don't know if I could trust this guy. I mean, he's got a 10-year-old kid in the other room screaming balls. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? I don't get it.